Hello, here we go. It's the Copite Podcast.
What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to another Copite Podcast. And yeah, I'm Mick, and I'm joined by Matt. How we doing, Matt?
Got an itchy eye.
You got an itchy eye?
Yeah, just randomly.
Do you want to finish that first before you say hello to everyone? Or?
Yeah, please give me a minute.
Just confirm, Matt hasn't been drinking. He's been drinking water only. This is sober Matt. But yeah, we're here to have a little chat about we should have done a Brentford review because that was a fucking mad game, but we didn't get around to doing it, which we'll, over the course of this podcast, we'll talk a little bit about that anyway, because there was a few mad talking points in that, but we're here to talk about mostly Tuesday night's Boss 5-1 win over Porto. And look ahead to the Sunday, which is going to be, I am so fucking pumped. I can't tell you how much I am pumped for that game. It's just pouring out of me veins. But on these pods, what we like to do before we crack on with the good stuff, or the better stuff, is have a little 2-minute bottle question, which is a kickoff question. And today's is from Dave on Twitter, or Sleepy Dave 01. I don't know why he's sleepy. I mean, I've never met the fella, but he's a sound fella. But the question is, if Liverpool had to relocate to a different UK stadium, which stadium would you want them to play in and why? Go ahead, lad. Get on that.
So I've got a bit of a cheeky answer. And I'd like us to move to the Etihad because I've always wondered what that would look like full.
I like the cheekiness. I don't like the answer. Why? I suppose if you just eradicated everything that had happened, and that was our new stadium, and they didn't have any history there. I mean, they haven't got any history now, but yeah, we won't get into that. But I don't know. That's a bit of a mad one. I wasn't when we were talking about this before we started, and you said I've got an answer, and I was like, I know what it is. It wasn't that.
I want to know if the stadium can, like, the structures can support full capacity, because it hasn't been tested yet. So
yeah,
we'd fill it.
Just collapse if
I just want
to know. Well, I've got a few shouts. The first one I thought of is Wembley because it's a beast. You've got Celta Park, which is obviously the atmosphere there is just electric. Spurs' new one, which it's new, so I thought that would be quite good to be in, like nice facilities and whatever else. But a few options there. Chris has just said in the comments, let's have a look what he's put. St. James's Park. Yeah, that's a good shout. And everyone obviously only been to St. James's Park as an away fan, and they put you in the fucking highest stand you'll ever see, and it's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you're so far away. It's literally like I was going to compare it to the upper main stand at Anfield, but it's not even. It's worse than that. You're so high up. You basically need binoculars, or you're going to get a nosebleed. You're that high up. So I mean, it's a good stadium, to be fair. But let me know whatever you think as well in the comments.
It was worldwide. What would you pick?
Worldwide. Oh fucking hell! I wasn't prepared for this, Matt. Why didn't you tell me this before?
I want to put you on the spot.
Go ahead, you go with yours and I'll have a little think. Go on. Worldwide. Let's get the comment as well. Whatever you think. Worldwide stadiums.
It's either the Gibraltar's very own Victoria Stadium, so I can go to matches.
Are you contractually obliged to say that?
Capacity of about 2,000.
Capacity of 4.
Or now I'm doing a park's a good shout. But the Estadio do Dragão, because we just thump Porto every time we go to visit that stadium. So got a good track record there.
Just fucking shout that, to be fair. I would love to play at Porto. I'd love to play Porto every week in the Champions League and then just play Norwich every week in the Premier League and just to be like, yeah, I'm going to twat you both. But Doug's gone for Signal Iduna Park, which is Dortmund, isn't it? Paul. All right, Paul. How are we doing? Porto. Chris Kelly, worldwide, the Aviva, just so I can go to every home game. Fair play. Yeah, I suppose you've got to tailor it to what suits you. But yeah, I mean, for me, what would I go for? I mean, like the Bernabeu is just a beast, isn't it? Like New Camp, like just easy shouts like that. And I think, I mean, even your Spanish team, Bilbao, they've got a decent little. They've got a good little stadium on them, haven't they? So there's quite a few, to be fair. But I suppose you're judging it on the atmosphere created there by the fans. So like you said, that Etihad, and obviously we know that's a fucking graveyard. So you'd have to start from scratch there. You've got nothing to build on.
Would it be so quiet with full of Liverpool fans though?
No, of course not. No, but yeah, but then we'd fill it and like make it into an actual fucking good stadium. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, Dave's just put in might get a season ticket if we play it at the new camp, and then Doug's put Olympia Stadion in Berlin too. Yeah, some good shouts there. But let's just go for the comments here. We've got Paul's in. Evening, Paul. How we doing? Paul's in as well. Another Paul. Paul Smith. Who's this? Who's this Paul Smith? I don't know. Chris Kelly. All right, fellas. Yuki, morning. Yuki, you know what I'm going to ask you? So you might as well just answer. Everyone knows what I'm asking. You just tell me what time it is.
No one said the Ataturk.
Oh, yeah. Good shout. Good shout. Yeah. Yeah. And just keep thinking. Keep thinking. We've got Aiden in. How are we doing, fella? We've got Paul in. Who else have we got? We've got Daniel in. Daniel Club. How we doing? La? Nice one for jumping in. Jamie Phillips, football chats. Good evening, lads. How we doing? La? Nice one for jumping in as well. But yeah, I think we've just fucking 6 minutes of talking about stadiums there. We could probably do that for a little bit longer, but keep putting your shouts in because I just have Matt just surprised me going worldwide shouts. I wasn't prepared for that one, so I probably missed for loads. But before we get stuck into obviously the City game, let's have a little chat about Porto because that was a great away win, obviously boss performance. But how were you feeling about it going into it, Matt? Obviously Trent was, I think he was in the training session beforehand, but then Klopp said that he felt something, and obviously it's an injury kept him out. Millie went in there, but were you feeling confident with the starting 11 and Curtis Jones and whoever else that was in the 11 that night?
Yeah, I think, and I mean no disrespect to Porto when I say this, but I think whatever 11 we would have put out, I think I would have been confident either way because we just have this trend of twatting Porto in Portugal and then giving them a draw at Anfield. So I was surprised it was as strong as it was, the lineup. I expected Shimmy.
It's that sticking, is it? Yeah. Shimmy.
I expected Shimmy and one of the other centre backs to get a start. But I was confident with Jones in the middle, and he smashed it, to be honest.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Like, I think he was involved. I mean, obviously, let's just go through the goals quickly. Obviously, Salah gets the first one. The keeper, I don't know what he's doing. Like, Jones does really well on the left-hand side, cuts in as a shot, but it's curling towards him, paddies it out. If that was Alisson, you'd be like, either claw that away further or fucking catch it. Like, it wasn't that much power on it, was there, to be fair. But then, like, Curtis Jones involved in that one. The Mane one. Great assist by Milner, but the keeper again. What the fuck is he doing? Like, he takes his arms out of the way of the actual ball, which is like the opposite what you want your goalkeepers to do. You want your goalie to come out and be commanding and even take the fucking centre back out of your own team, if that's the case, to save a goal. That was a bit of a mad half, weren't it, with those two goals? But I think I put a tweet like up the 6-yard box reds because like both goals were just fucking mad. But it was a good start, wasn't it, in the game, to be fair?
Yeah, no, it was a good performance all around. Like you said, the goals were odd, but you've got to be. I suppose you have to be there to score the goals, and it was nice to get Mane on the score sheet because he's been his finishing's been a bit erratic. I suppose we can say he's come under a bit of criticism again, and he didn't exactly have to do too much for the goal, but look, he's got it. But all around, look, it's momentum at the end of the day, so I'm buzzing. And then obviously my man came on in the second half and almost made my dreams come true.
I think everyone knows that's watching this that Matt loves a Bobby Firmino hat-trick shout, and it fucking nearly came true. But I just said the keeper for Porto was shocking. But like I found the stat today, obviously talking about the Mane goal. It was obviously an assist for Millie, which really shouldn't have been an assist. It was a good ball in, but the keeper should be having it. It was his 13th assist in the Champions League since the start of the 17-18 season. And just to put that into context, Messi's got 10 in that time frame and Ronaldo's got 5. James Milner has 13. That's impressive, isn't it?
He is a machine. There's not really much more you can say about that. See, people are calling Erling Haaland the machine. It's James Milner. James Milner's the machine.
Yeah.
Just shouting out assists for fun.
36 in January. What's that?
Has he got the record for most assists in a single Champions League campaign as well?
I think I think so. From I think so. And the fact that he's 36 in January, I mean, Jo says age is just a number, but that's what you say when you're over 35. So, but yeah, like you said, he's just an absolute machine. But and then obviously let's go second half there, quick 60 minutes. Salah gets his second, which was I mean, Curtis Jones was just obviously we touched on him just before, but he was involved in everything. He was just busy, got involved, got stuck in, wins the ball. Could have maybe just played Mane in and just kept on running and hoped for the pass back, maybe nearer to the box, but no, kept his head. Nice little ball through to Salah. Salah makes the goalie and we're 3-0 up. So it was, I mean, it's mad, isn't it? Because every time you look at Porto when we played them recently, going into this game, you're like, well, we've battered them by 4 and by 5 in previous years, but I didn't expect it again. And it was just like, it's just one of them where it's just like, I don't know if it's like a psychological thing where it's like, we've just like got their number like we have with Norwich and we just fucking batter them every time, it's mad, isn't it?
I don't think any Porto fans are gonna be happy with you saying Porto and Norwich in the same sentence. They're well better. But no, I get what you mean, because Porto on paper they've got a really good. They've got a decent side. You know, they're currently top of the Portuguese. I don't follow the Portuguese league. They're one of the top teams in the Portuguese league. They gave Chelsea trouble last year as well. They consistently reach the knockouts of the group stages, and for somehow it seems like with ease that we're able to bat them to one side. It's confusing but nice at the same time, because we managed to, although we didn't rotate much from the start, we used all 5 subs and managed to rotate within an hour, 70 minutes. So the players are somewhat rested. It's kind of nice, but it's weird because now they're going to come to Anfield and get like a 0-0 or 1-1 draw. It's a weird thing to balance out, but it works.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy just to go and play at their place and just bath them. But Bobby, obviously, you said a few changes. Bobby comes on, gets one in the 77th minute and gets one in the 81st minute. And I think I was just watching the WhatsApp group just for your reaction, because I was like, he is going to be jizzing everywhere. And that was the case, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. He came on and it was just like, all right, here we go. Off the bench hat trick. That's fine. Second one, was it the second one that they blew for offside, and then
the second one,
they gave it, and I thought it was offside, to be fair, and then they went to review, they gave the goal, and I was like, this is actually happening. I was fuming because I was like, not even doing a pod, like, it's gonna happen, and I haven't predicted it, and then it was that's like right up my street for a prediction as well, of 3-0, Bobby comes on, gets the hat trick, 6-0.
Yeah, that is literally like such a synonymous shout with you just going like, 6-0, but Bobby's going to come on with like 2 minutes to go and score 18, just so mad like that. But I mean, the first one, like, good ball, like Curtis Jones, like he's in a bit of a tough spot in our half, good ball over the top, and their keeper's just had a fucking mare again, like just running back to his goal in slow motion. I think I put it in the WhatsApp group that it reminded me of the Alonso goal against Luton in the cup many years ago, where it just kind of just enough on it to trickle over the line. I think Suarez's first goal as well against Stoke at Anfield, it was similar, where it kind of trickling towards the goal, and the defender probably should have cleared that one. But yeah, Bobby comes on, gets 2, and that's, I mean, we're going to come on to who's going to start for City, but that puts him in fucking great stead. But I mean, talking on, let's have a little chat about Curtis Jones, because we said he was really good. He was involved in pretty much every goal, but I think he's got to be nailed on for a starting berth after that, hasn't he? In the City game, he's been the last against Brentford and against Porto. He's been really good, hasn't he?
I mean, he's got like an amazing work rate for someone who you'd think of as a creative midfielder. He actually works really, really hard for the team, and that he's really hard to shrug off the ball. Like for the first Bobby assist, he'd come back, won the ball, and then was like dribbling on the edge of our area around 3 players, and I was screaming at him to hoof it. And then he plays in Bobby, and I was like, "Oh, do that, yeah, that's fine." But he should be starting, and if he doesn't start, it's because he's going with the front four. I don't think there's any conceivable way that he plays 3 in midfield and Jones isn't one of them.
Yeah. It's just funny because it obviously didn't play much at the start of the season, and obviously Harvey Elliott was doing so well, gets that horrific injury. Thiago comes in and obviously gets injured as well after the international break, and then it's like everyone's like, what's Curtis Jones going to do? Is he going to come in and actually do well? And it's like, well, did you forget how good he can be when he's, especially when you've got like Van Dijk and Matip back, and you've got like Fabinho in there, and you've got like a proper setup in order for him to get, like, he can go and flourish because he's got that security in behind him to kind of bomb forward on the left and whatever else. But yeah, I mean, I was fucking so impressed with him. Obviously, all the Curtis Jones, what a win that was then, and all that were floating around, which was just so good.
It's like he's quality, and there's, I suppose, and I know we're singing Jones's praises, but the fact that he got kept out of the side by Harvey Elliott just excites me a little bit more about Harvey Elliott. And just before we move on from him, do Liverpool really think they're going to get away with photoshopping Mane's legs onto Harvey Elliott for the team photo?
That was hilarious. That was, because you've seen him go, obviously going in on us. I was thinking, is this before he got the injury? I was like, no, he's on crutches, and then I don't know who it was, but someone's just zooming in on people's legs, like, and noticed that it's Mane's legs. It's like, fucking hell. People just zooming on fucking people's fucking packages as well, like saying, "Oh, Jota looks happy and fucking Jones looks happy." And it's like, fucking hell.
I saw that comment and it piqued my curiosity, so I checked, and Jota looks very happy.
Of course, it piqued your curiosity.
He looks very happy.
But yeah, let's have a quick read through what we've got in the comments. Chris Kelly expected an Origi start. Was happy we went strong. No points won and take off the top guys after 60. Yeah, exactly. Jamie Phillips, what are we showing? Is our first 11 is still strong against anything in Europe? Yeah. Daniel Club 14-2 aggregate scoring in Stadio de Drago under Klopp, our second home. The more Curtis Jones was class and has been excellent in the last 3 games. Paul Cox to qualify for Champions League will give us a massive advantage in the Prem. Yeah, that's a big thing for me, because I mean, I was made up when I looked at the Atletico score and it was 1-1, and then Luis Suarez fucking bags a last-minute penalty, and then all of a sudden they're 2 points closer than they would have been. Obviously, we've got them back-to-back coming up. The first game away on my birthday, 19th of October. So Luis Suarez better fucking not ruin that. I'm telling you that for free. And then we've got them back at Anfield on the 3rd of November. But we're in a good place, aren't we? Going into, obviously, 2 games in. That's, I mean, cliche as anything, but that's the perfect start. You couldn't have asked for anything better going into these 2 games. I'll take a draw at their place, but getting them back to Anfield, there's going to be a bit of revenge on the cards, obviously, after the Adrian game and the Europa League game back in like 2010-11, I think it was, where fucking Forlan scores like in extra time, and I was there and it just crushed me. So there's a few revenge points there that we need, but we're in a good position, aren't we? It's going into the 3rd game.
I mean, look, you're top of the group, 6 points. You could be like Barcelona, bottom of your group, 0 points, minus 6 goals. But look, we got Atletico for the next 2 games. It's good that we're going to, at least, I'm glad that we're getting them out the way, back to back. Just Atletico, get them out the way, because they're, you could call them like Klopp's kryptonite. They're the most anti-Liverpool thing that I've seen. And they did a job on us, like with help from their undercover agent, Adrian. But they did a job in the Champions League. Their system just does not allow for us to play the way that we want to play, I guess. So look, if we get a point the fuck's their stadium called again?
Don't know, something Spanish. So
the Wanda. If we get a point at the Wanda, and then if we get a point,
Wanda,
if we get 2 points off them, that takes 2 points off them, and that pretty much seals our top spot, because Porto and Milan still have to play them as well. So we're definitely going to qualify out this group. So hopefully we get Sheriff in the next round.
Oh yeah, fucking hell! What a goal! What a finish that was, though. That winning goal. Fucking hell! Such a strike. But like Paul said before, getting the group sewn up early is, we don't tend to do that. Liverpool, we tend to do it the hardest way possible. But to do that will give us a nice push for the Prem, and give us a bit more leeway to maybe throw in a few of the youngsters in the last couple of Champions League games, hopefully, which if all goes to plan. But
I don't want to be going into the San Siro on the last day, the last match of the group, having to win, because that's going to be hard.
Yeah, exactly. But Paul just said we've got about half a dozen players who will be first teamers foot the next 8-10 years. Imagine that. Is that for us? I imagine that's for us. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree completely. I think there's a bit of a fascination with people going, "Oh, we need to buy players and whatever else." But then you look at the recruitment, like Kate Gordon and whoever else. There's so many top players that can come into this team. You just have to, obviously we can't build them up too much, but there's so much potential in a lot of players, which is quite exciting going forward. But yeah, we're 20 minutes in. Let's get stuck into Sunday, the big one. Reigning champions, Man City, come to Anfield. How are you feeling? I'm feeling very confident. I mean, I don't know if this is obviously can come back to bite me majorly on the arse, but I am like properly, like I said earlier, I'm proper pumped, but I'm really confident. Like fans back in the stadium, whatever else, and I just feel like we've got quite a bit of good form at the moment going into this one. How are you feeling?
More confident after seeing the game against PSG, just because they look sort of there to be got at to some extent, and if we perform the way we can perform, we're winning this game. That's how I feel. If we perform to the standard that we've got used to, then we're leaving with all 3 points. I'm dead certain about that. It's just whether we can stop City doing what they did last season. And now that we've got Fab and Hendo in the midfield as opposed to at centre back, I do feel kind of good about that.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like I said before, like with Curtis Jones and like when Harvey Elliott was in the team, there's that safety blanket of having Verge back and having Matip back and people just back in their positions, and just like the team that has made us won so many titles and what obviously Premier League and Champions League consecutive seasons, that wouldn't have been possible without those players being at the top of the game, and having them back is obviously a massive boost and been underrated this season, haven't we, in terms of, well, before the season anyway, people were like, oh, a Man City going to win it, a Chelsea going to win it, a Man United going to win it. It's like everyone's like writing Liverpool off. It's like, I mean, it's not, we signed Kanata, who's played a couple and looked really well, but people just think obviously injuries and whatever else that they're coming back in doesn't have the same effect as bringing someone new in, which is just absolutely fucking bollocks, to be fair. But obviously you just touched on there, like they battered us last year with no fans in the stadium 4-1, but having no fans is key to them doing well, and I genuinely believe that. I think the last time they did it with fans in the league was in May 2003 when Nicholas Anelka got 2, which is fucking 18 years ago.
Yeah.
And we won't get into why Nicholas Anelka should have been wearing a red shirt that day, not a sky blue shirt, El Hadj Diouf and whatever else. We won't get into that. But 18 years without winning at Anfield in the league, that's and then they do it when there's no fans there. That's clear to see, isn't it? Obviously, I don't know if they can't handle the pressure. Obviously, they weren't as good back in 2003. They've obviously built that up with the fucking oil money and whatever else in the last couple of years and whatever. But I just feel like they usually struggle at Anfield, and they can't really handle the pressure and the atmosphere. And I think I watched an interview with Guardiola earlier, and he was like, "We'll hopefully handle the atmosphere." And I was like, that doesn't sound like a man who's looking forward to coming to Anfield. That sounds like a man that's like, shit, Anfield's full again, I'm shitting my pants. Well, I mean, yeah. Well, go on. Sorry.
Wouldn't you be? Like, think about it. It's a full Anfield, and you're gonna get booed and jeered every time you touch the ball. Of course, you're gonna be shitting it. He'd be stupid if he wasn't shitting it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Is that it?
Yeah. That's it.
Thank you for that detailed analysis, Matthew.
It's a little bit more difficult in terms of the fact that Trent's out, which is a big blow.
Yeah,
but I'm kind of, in a weird way, looking forward to seeing James Milner clatter through their new £100 million signing.
Yeah, I honestly can't wait. Like I think I posted like a little gif, like the water boy, just like that first tackle he ever does in the film, and he just runs like 200 yards and just snaps someone in half. I'd love him to do that. But yeah, I mean, I've got no qualms about it now. Like I've seen him come up against Zaha, done really well, in the Porto game. Like I'm not worried about that right hand spot at the moment. Obviously, without Trent there, you're missing a huge chunk of creative talent and whatever, and he's so key to what we do going forward. But have a million there, he's more than an able deputy, and I think he's proved that, hasn't he, over the last couple of games?
Yeah, he's good enough. I mean, he played left back for us for a whole season, so if he can do left back, he can definitely do right back, and he's done well deputising. But look, it is going to be a loss creative wise, and probably why I'm leaning more towards the four front men starting. But we'll get into that when we predict our 11s.
Well, we're getting right into that. I'll just read a couple of these. We've got Jamie just said this is still the two best teams in the league. Our 11 is the best in the league. City can't play how they did against Chelsea. As we have more forward power. Aiden's put regardless of them going 3-1 to the Reds, goals flying in the crowd, will be right up for it. But yeah, I mean, obviously we just touched on Millie starting at right back. I think the rest of the back five picks itself, doesn't it? It's gonna be Verge, it's gonna be Matip, it's gonna be Robbo, it's gonna be Ali. Put AJ09, nice one for jumping on the chat there, mate. Who do you think will start in the mid, Keita or Jones? I mean, we've just been waxing lyrical about Curtis Jones, but what do you think about midfield then for the three? I think there's only one, like AJ said there's only one spot open there, really, isn't he? I think the other two are going to be Hendo and Fabinho, but who you thinking of this one?
I don't think either start, but Jones has to start. If he goes with Keita over Jones, Jones is well within his rights to knock on Jurgi's door and be like, what more do I have to do?
Whose door?
Jurgi's. I'm in a nickname mood today, yeah. Shimmy, Jurgi.
You are truly a Scouser at heart, like just abbreviating everything, just giving everything a nickname. Jurgi. Fucking hell, that's a new one on me. I've never heard that one. I'm robbing now. Fucking hell, I love that. So go on then. You might as well just tell me what you're thinking. Are you thinking he's going to go with the 4 up top?
Yeah, I'm thinking 4-2-3-1.
Go on then, talk me through it. Go on.
It'll be Millie at right back, then the tried and tested centre back pairing, best centre back pairing in the league, maybe even the world. You know what? I'd go out on a limb and say that they're probably on top form, the best centre back pairing in the world. Come fight me. Got Robbo on the left, Ali in goal. It's a very weird way that I've decided to name my back five, but okay. Then Hendo and Fab in the pivot, and then it'll be Salah, Bobby, Mane, and probably Jota up front.
I'd be very surprised if he did that. I mean, I think he's done it before, hasn't he? But I just feel like I just feel like it's I don't know if it's the easy option, but Curtis Jones has done so well on that left of a three. Obviously, Fab goes without saying, and then Hendo on the right. And then I think the only contentious point for me is it going to be Bobby or is it going to be Jota? And I think, to be honest, at the moment, I'm probably saddened with Bobby, just only because Jota has obviously works his fucking socks off, but in front of goal, he's not been quite there. And I mean, I can't really criticise him because he's been fucking. What's that?
That's generous. Saying that,
yeah, he's missed it. Like, yeah, he's missed a few sitters, hasn't he? He's missed a few sitters.
Yeah, like if that was Bobby missing those, he'd be getting slated.
He'd be getting lynched. Yeah, I mean, and we know how good Jota is in front of goal. Usually, obviously, the header against Brentford was a great header, but then the chance after it where the keeper makes a great save. But for me, he should be scoring. He should be scoring that. Like, take another touch, bang it, bottom left. Could have done a myriad of things, and that was
hit it anywhere else than where you hit it, and it's
one of them. In it, hit it anywhere where the keeper is, and it's a goal. But I mean, great save. You've got to give credit to him. But that's why I think Bobby starts.
I think it'll be 4-2-3-1. But if it's not, if it's 4-3-3, then I agree with you. I think Bobby all the way, and Trent and Kurt in the middle.
That's a bit tame for you, Kurt. Are you not getting anything better than that? Like Kurt a liar or something, or
Jonesy.
Carey,
Curry.
CJ.
Hey, that wasn't even planned, you know.
Fucking hell. Let's get into some of these comments before we go. Liverpool scoring loads, City conceding, so a nervous 1-0 win. Yeah. Paul thinks Sunday is a marker. Pep will know that losing this game will take a lot of work to catch us up, in my opinion. As long as everyone stays fit, can understand why Klopp is rotating so much. Chris, can't wait for the boo and hiss when they touch the ball. Dan's gone with strangely okay with Trent's absence, unlikely to be a game we dominate possession and Milner can cope defensively. Yeah, 100% agree with that. Maybe Gomez right back against Grealish. Let's talk about this. What are your thoughts on that?
No, please no.
You're a man a few words today, aren't you, Matt?
I think I've got that Jay Pearson bug.
Oh, boo.
No, I think it's time that Gomez dedicated himself to centre back. I think we have to stop shifting him out to the right. He showed that he could do a job there, but he's definitely better at centre back, and I just wouldn't want to put him up against Grealish on the right. You know, Grealish is tricky, and I fancy Milner just clattering him and letting him know he's there, than having Gomez and not a completely fit back on top of the wall. Gomez is still recovering at right back. I think I'd go with Millie. And we're definitely going to go with Millie because he took him off and rested him.
Yeah, I see the thinking from Chris, though, because obviously Joe Gomez is quick, but I just feel like he's one of those players that he's quick when he's running away from goal. I don't know. Maybe that's just me being a knobhead, but I just feel like he doesn't seem like he runs as quick when he's running towards his goal.
I feel like wingers will be... If we go Gomez, I think it'll be a bit like Trent, that he'll get targeted. And that's not to say that Milner won't get targeted at right back, but I think if you're a winger running at James Milner, you're running with a little bit of fear that you're going to get smashed.
Yeah,
because the Klopp going past, but both aren't.
Yeah, and Klopp said today, like, about he obviously was having his cards very close to his chest. It said it could be Millie, it could be Neco, it could be Joe at right back. But obviously, I think we all know it's going to be 99% Millie. Then he went on to say something about like that the player at right back or at full back, whatever, will have cover. Like there'll be cover from there. Like Mo will be tracking back, and then Hendo will be there as well. So Grealish obviously is a danger man because he's that dribbling ability. He can just win free kicks and pens for fun, can't he? So that's going to be...
If it's not Milner, I think it's because he'll have picked up a knock. Because I don't think you rest Milner and bring him off against Porto if you're not going to use him, if you're not going to start him at right back against City.
Yeah, true. Chris has just gone Klopp to go with the 4 up top. Oh, he is a man after Matthew Ramirez's heart, I believe. Paul's gone with at home. He'll play 4-3-3. Yeah, Aiden, I think Bobby will start and bring Jota on and Milner at right back. Milner's been excellent. Yeah, definitely. Paul, if Gomez plays right back, Salah would have to track back a lot more. Milner is better on the ball. Agree with that. Definitely agree with that. I mean, you can see, I just want this fucking Salah contract sorted, but you can see how, like, the goal against Milan in particular at Anfield, where he just fucking went mad, took a shirt off and went ballistic. That was lovely to see, but you can see his all-round game is class, isn't it?
It was lovely to see Salah with his top off, was it?
Well, that as well, just because he's got about a 16-pack, hasn't he? So it's always nice to see. But I think I saw something on Sky Sports, actually, Jamie Redknapp saying something like, this is Mo Salah's in the best form of his life. What do you make of that?
He is on fire.
Do you think it's the best form of his life? I maybe think overall, from what you say, defensively, creatively, scoring goals. I mean, I'm happy to go along with that because
for me, it's the Mo Salah that I'm used to. I think we touched on it in a couple of pods before. Maybe I wasn't giving him the credit he deserved for the previous years, but for me, his defensive work's really standing out this year. Yeah. I can't really remember him doing that, and I'd agree with him being in the form of his life, just because other fan bases are starting to stand up and take notice. Whereas at this point, I'd be used to people saying, "Oh, he's overrated," or it's just the system that suits him. But like, everyone is recognizing Salah as an absolute machine at the moment. He's unstoppable. He is unstoppable. He's tracking back. He's scoring goals. He's going past people for fun. His touch is impeccable at times. He just drops it out the air. He's up there.
What always strikes me is when he's on that right hand side, you could play any ball into him. It could be the worst ball in the world, and he would make it look like a good ball. Like, even if you wrapped it into his feet 100 miles an hour, he would make it. He would just kill it dead. And it's like, that's the sign of like a great player. And I think like the holding players often just he never loses the ball. Like, I'm struggling to remember a time where he lost the ball and like someone's broke. We always either get a throw in, or we get a free kick, or he just comes back inside the Trent or Hendo or whatever. There's never a time where he loses the ball and we're under the cosh because of it, because he's just that strong and he's just that good. It's that, I think that obviously feeds into just his all round game, and I mean, I think he's always had that anyway, like that core strength, and obviously just been talking about his 16 pack, so we obviously know he's a beast of a human being. But it's just nice to see, and we just want this contract sorted, don't we? Just because we can. I mean, I think Klopp got asked about it. I don't know if it was last week, the week before, and he said no more news yet. Which is, we want news because he is, like you said, he is the main fella. He literally is. Like, everything good that we do is because of him and how good he's been since he came to the club, and that's the biggest compliment we can pay him, really, isn't it?
I can't really say much more than what you said, because you smashed it. He's vital. You could put him anywhere at the moment in his current form, and he's going to be a threat. And it's so the fact is, it's so obvious, at least, what he's going to do on the ball. You know that he's going to cut in on his left foot, but you still can't stop him. He's just, at this moment in time, I'll agree with the comment from Kiss Kelly. Right now, you take him over anyone else.
Yeah, let's just put that up. Yeah, Chris, Salah over any attacker on the planet, 100%. Yeah. Well, I don't see why you can have a different opinion to that. I mean, obviously we're majorly biased as big Liverpool fans, but you see 90 minutes every week of what he does twice a week, and he's just a machine. He, like, touchwood, never gets injured. Like, he's so durable, and he's such a great fella. And yeah, we're so lucky to have him. Like, when we first signed him, I was like, this is a good signing, but you could never have ever predicted what he's gone on to achieve, and the goals that he scored. Like he's up, like, in terms of goal scoring, like, ratios with, like, fucking. Well, he's got a better ratio than Luis Suarez and Robbie Fowler and Michael Owen and whatever else, and he's up there with Shearer and Henry, and that's just, like, mental when you think of, he's a wide forward, and he's putting up those numbers, and he's so key, isn't he, to everything we do.
I think in Salah, we've got a few of these in the team, but in Salah specifically, we've got a player that can walk into any team in the world and instantly be the main man.
Yeah.
So, here's weird.
I think you need to start saying over when you finish, just so I'm ready. or just do like a fake mic drop like that, yeah. But yeah, so Hendo's going to start, isn't he? And so is Bobby. Speaking of Bobby, we've got this little shirt here, and the pod is sponsored by calidesigns.co.uk. So if you want to go over and get yourself a little t-shirt or a Gerrard print, and I keep saying I'm going to change this, but I haven't done it because I'm a lazy bastard, but the Gerrard one is up there, and I will change it at some point. But you can get 10% off any of his stuff. So t-shirts, prints, whatever you want, 10% off. Use the code COPIPOD10 at checkout, and you can get 10% off. He's also got some Hendo prints, which are, like, apparently you order them and they're smaller than usual. So he's got 30 of them. You can get 50% off. So whenever they're gone, they're gone. So get on there and have a look, which is calidesigns.co.uk. So go and have a look at them because he's a very talented fella, but he's also a proper sound fella as well. So go and help him out, and in helping him out, you help us out because Matt has run out of money from giving all his money to the pod, haven't you? So
yeah. And if he wants to make any Matt Ramirez inspired Yergi tops, you've got my complete permission.
Yergi with an R in like a circle. TM. Trademark Matt Ramirez. Fucking hell.
Make sure he's
Yergi Clo.
He looks a bit weird without the glasses, can't lie. Prefer Yergi with glasses.
Yergi. So do we have to abbreviate his second name as well to Clo, or what are you thinking?
Not Yergi.
Yergi Clo.
Yergi Klopp. Yeah, Klopp works. Kloppo. Yergi Kloppo.
Fuck off. Yergi Kloppo. Fuck no. If Callie makes a fucking t-shirt with Yergi Kloppo on, then I'm having one, to be fair, because that's just fucking boss. Let's have a look at the comments before we get out of here. We've got Paul. Oh shit! If we let City come at us, we've had it. I'm with Matt. 4 up front, 2 each, 8-0. All makes sense. Okay, now, Chris Kelly. I think if there was a contract issue, Klopp would be highlighting it like Hendo. So for now, I'm not concerned. Yeah.
If there was a contract issue, it'd be all over like Sky Sports News, all over the papers.
Yeah.
Like, you don't keep something. If there's issues with Mohamed Salah, clubs would be circling like fucking vultures. Like that wouldn't be kept quiet.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, we'll leave it there. We've done 40 odd minutes. Yeah, nice one for joining us. Nice one to Matt for his shortness.
Score prediction. What are you thinking?
Oh shit! Score predictions. Go on.
Nah, you first. Mine are more.
17-4. Bobby's gonna get like 16, I reckon. Nah, I'm messing. I'm gonna go for 3-0. I'm gonna go for 3-0. I'm confident. I feel like if we start the right way, the fact like I'm not going to be there on Sunday, unfortunately. But Jay is. I'm very jealous of him. But I feel like the fans are going to be majorly up for it. I just feel like they're going to crumble. And if we get one in the first like 10-15, then I just can't see them scoring unless it's a consolation. So I'm going to go 3-0, 3-1.
I'm glad you specified that you were kidding with the first one because I thought you were serious at 17-4.
Go on, what do you reckon?
Oh, I want to say what I'm really thinking, but I feel like people are going to take the piss.
Go on, hit me with it.
Right, so with teams like with big teams like City, I always feel like there's always like a shock result waiting to happen. Like look at us, we went to Villa last year and we lost 7-2. Like I feel like when big teams like these lose, they lose like by quite a bit. So I'm building up here. So I think it's going to be 5-1.
5-1.
Yeah, I'm going to go for 5-1. Just because I think that they're going to crumble. I feel
Bobby
like
hat-trick, or does that go without saying?
4.
Fuck off. So Bobby's going to score 4, is he?
I don't know who's going to score, but I think it's going to be 5-1. And I just think
I'm interested. I'm really interested in you think's going to score. I always am.
Bobby hat-trick.
Fuck.
If it happens, Bobby hat-trick, I think Van Dijk's going to get his first goal back.
I'd love that.
And Mo just to keep it going.
Yeah, sorted. Dave.
Mo gets a hat-trick and Bobby gets one. That counts as me getting it right as well. All right, just saying.
Sound. Dave's in. Nice one, Dave. 2-1 to the Reds. Aiden's gone 3-1 to the Reds. Yuki 3-0, but maybe we can see 1-3-1. Same what I said, Yuki. And then we've got Paul going fucking hell, Matt, and Chris going ridiculous, Matt. Explain yourself.
I've got a weird feeling that they're gonna cry. I just feel like we're gonna get a good start, like we did a couple of years ago. In the first 10 minutes, we're gonna get 2. First 10-15 minutes will be 2-0 up, and I think they're just gonna crumble from there. Not to the point where it's gonna be like a complete like wipeout, like what Villa did to us. But I really feel like with that quick start, that we can properly hammer these.
No, I mean, if that happens, I'm all fucking down for absolutely twatting Man City at Anfield. I'm down for it if it
The
happens.
build up and the look of a 1-0, but I'm hoping that we can get the quick start. And if we get the quick start, then we'll chance them.
It's the quick start. That's I mean, say it quite a bit. If you get the quick start, but then it's one of them like they are so good. But like Chris said, 1-0 and shitting it for 90. Love it, Matt 5-1. Paul said, love the enthusiasm, Matt. I really hope it happens. Yeah, I do. At 5-1, if it's fucking hell.
Just look how shell shocked Barca looked when they came to Anfield and we got right on top of them. Right, I just feel like Ruben Diaz, who's never fucking played at a full Anfield, the heir to Van Dijk, is gonna crumble.
Oh, I hope he has a fucking shocker. You know, it's just like he's a great defender, but it's just like he's like a Vidic, isn't he? He's just like he's all like show me any given goal against Man City, he'll be on the deck. He'll be on the deck either sliding for it or he'll been twisted like a fucking pretzel just before it. But it's hilarious when he gets compared to Van Dijk and whatever else. He's a great player, but it's just the age of comparisons, isn't it?
The crowd's going to be up for it as well. Like the crowd, the Anfield crowd, just makes me think that this is going to be a fucking just a sit down pub.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think people in the comments share your enthusiasm, but I'm trying to take it on board that might happen, and if it does, then we'll all be like, well, Matt was right. He's fucking read the tea leaves. He's smashing it. But yeah, we'll be back anyway. I don't know if Matt will be back, but we'll be back after the game for an instant match review, which will be about 6:30 on Sunday. Hopefully celebrating a 5-1 win. Are we saying 5-1 win? Yeah, we'll take that. Yeah, so if you just want to jump back on Sunday, if you get us on Twitter, I'll put the link in there and we'll be back there. Nice one to Matt. Nice one to the comments, which have been boss. We had loads in there. And yeah, we'll see you again on Sunday at 6:30. See you in a bit.